I'm thinking something like...
Hi, it's Amber.
I'm Melanie.
And today's episode is with Fiona Cauley.
My fave.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. She's a Nashville comedian from Nashville and so cool.
Yeah.
Funny and like a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, she owned the room, owned her space. I loved it.
Truly. And just her whole story, like the details of it surprised me. Like I was kind of putting in my own like, oh, and how did you feel about this? Expecting a certain answer. And she gave me a different one than I expected. And I was like, God, I look up to that woman.
No, she brought it very authentic. I enjoy that. And I talk to people all day long. And it's the level of awareness she had of her story was really cool.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's a great episode and you're going to love it. So
yeah, excited for everybody to hear it. The bubble lung thing
has
happened.
Popcorn lung?
Yeah,
Is that what
that's
they're...
what yeah.
So not to bring you back to smoking, but why not just smoke?
Because it's hard for me to go outside. That's like legit why. You know, I'm just like an idea woman. You know, I'm keeping up with the trends. Kids love me.
Because you vape.
Yes.
So how are you?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay. I'm medium.
You're medium.
Yeah.
I use a number scale. Use it in therapy. It's like a 0 to 10 scale. 10, you're grounded. 10's as big as you could feel it. And so, but I find I've used those number rating scales for like, how hungry are you right now? If you're an 8, we got to focus on getting food, right?
Yeah.
So I do it to like kind of check in, like when I'm busy, I'm like, or a friend, you know, like number scale, where are you? Or how mad are you right now?
10 is grounded?
No, 0 is
normally 0.
Grounded, neutral, present, and 10's.
And 10 is?
As big as you could feel something.
Like bad.
Yeah, well, not
Or
bad.
you could be 10 happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
But it's funny, I use it as a, like, how to know how hungry I am.
That's a good, I like that.
Or when my friends are trying to make plans, we've been hanging out all day, and I'm like, okay, how hungry are you? So we know, like, how to plan for the food.
Smart.
I know you said before we started filming that you were scared.
Yeah. What's scary for you right now?
Yes. You're scary to me. You're literally a therapist.
So it's the therapy thing that scares you.
Yeah.
Not me as a human, I hope.
Yeah. No, you're lovely. You're delightful.
It's what you've chosen to do.
Yeah, it's just like your whole career.
Tell me what's scary about it, because there's something, an experience you've had that kind of set that in place.
I don't know. I have like a weird relationship with therapy. Probably. I don't know. When I was 15 or 16, my mom found weed in my room. And it actually was not mine. I didn't know why, but I couldn't walk when I smoked weed because I wasn't diagnosed back then. But it's genetic. So she put me in like addicts therapy for like years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like in high school. And the therapist knew that was not correct, but my mom do be like that. But she was cool. She was fine. I think I just feel like I've tried therapy and like I'm kind of seen as just like this 20-something white girl from Franklin, and like it's hard for me to like open up and be like, I have more going on.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you think's hard about it? Because I think that's a common experience, you know. That's why the relationship with the therapist is so important.
Right, like finding the right one. I don't think I've done that.
Yeah.
It probably says more about like my attachment style. to people. Like, I'm avoidant of shit. So when I'm like, and they put me in a box, like, it's probably because I put myself there and refuse to let them open the box.
Well, a good therapist will recognize that and help you push into it.
Have you ever had someone that you connected with therapy-wise?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
How many have you been to?
Like 3 different therapists.
Yeah.
Like, how long did you stay with one? What do you?
The one was forced by my mom, and then the other 2 were like during COVID times.
Yeah.
At like Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just so fucking hard to like look at a screen and be like, you care about what happens to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, are you currently seeing somebody?
No.
Well, if you need to get connected, I can help.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I have $1 if you want. I'm just trying to give away my money.
Yeah, so you didn't try that before. Bribery?
Yeah.
Connection.
It's working. Yeah.
You said just a minute ago that you weren't diagnosed. So can you talk about what that diagnosis is? My beautiful friend Fiona.
Yes. Oh my God. So I have progressive genetic disease called Friedreich's Ataxia. And it affects like every muscle in your body, and it's not like my muscles wither away or anything, but like my proprioception, which is like what tells you where your feet are when you're walking, or like you know, stuff like that is it's like nerves are all dying, and so
Yeah. Do you have experience a lot of anxiety with that?
I didn't know it was anxiety until recently, but I get like sick.
Yeah, well, you're constantly trying to figure out like your body awareness in space. Like when you are constantly, you're trying to figure that out. It can create anxiety. Like in the body.
Interesting. Another fun side effect. No, I love it. It's good. But yeah, yes.
How long have you been diagnosed with that?
I got diagnosed when I was 18, and I'm 26 now.
Wow.
Has it been fast progressing?
Yeah. It's weird because it didn't feel like it. Like, you mind if I like back up to okay.
Go for it.
So, okay. I'm 15. I was an athlete, every sport you can think of. I was really good. And then I hit high school and something felt like off, and I quit sports and was like, all right, I'm gonna be an artist now. You know what I mean? And my mom was like, oh, you're angsty. That's what's happening. And I was like, word.
Fuck off, Mom.
Yeah. Dude, it gets so much worse. So things start going weird, like shit, like I would go to school, like I was walking, but the principal would like smell my breath for alcohol because everyone thought I was drunk because of how I speak and walk.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, maybe I am drunk. Like, I was so confused. And I would go to my mom and be like, something is wrong. And she would, like, yell at me and saying, like, I'm a middle child searching for attention. Because my older sister had medical issues like scoliosis. And she walked weird. And they were like, you're just copying her. And I thought maybe I was. Like, I was losing my mind. And then at 18, I, like, took myself to an ENT because I thought maybe equilibrium problem.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no. And I went and got a balance test done. And I didn't know what that was.
Sorry, what's an ENT?
An ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Oh, okay.
So I really thought that it was just like in my ears, like something was off. Like I was searching for answers before college because I thought it would get fixed and
like
then
vertigo
I could
or
start
something.
my life. Yeah, exactly.
And how old were you when you were taking yourself to?
18.
Bro.
I'm old for my grade, so I was a senior in high school. And then balanced has nothing. They sent me to a neurologist, and this dude was fucking stoked because that was like his Dr. House moment.
Man.
Oh my man, you know what I mean? But he was like, you either have a genetic disease or a tumor on your cerebellum, which is the part of your brain that deals with coordination, I think. I don't know. And I was like, fucking tumor, you know what I mean? Like, take that shit out and let's get back to work.
Yeah.
That is not what happened. But I got my mom involved when the diagnosis came back, because basically I was like, here's what I've been doing. Your insurance doesn't pay for these tests or whatever. Will you pay for it? She was like, if I pay for this, you have to shut the fuck up about it. And I was like, okay. And then I was right. So I was like really excited to be right. And didn't realize how much it would fuck the rest of my life. So now we're here.
Say, when you say you didn't know how it would fuck the rest of your life up, will you talk more about that?
Yeah, I thought it was like a quirky trait, like personality trait. I really didn't think I'd ever be in a wheelchair. I just thought I'd be wobbly. And like that cute clumsy girl in the 90s fucking rom-coms. I took it too far. I know that now. I see the error in my ways.
Okay, so I want to pivot just a little bit here, because you're talking about some really hard stuff, and I mentioned earlier, you're very good at just naturally making fun of the situation at hand. You're not forcing a joke, but the reason why we are, creating these conversations, because humor is a huge part of how people deal with it. So can you speak to that? Like, how has you being able to make light of like the hard stuff that you deal with? That's natural. That helps us get through things.
Right.
But have you experienced that where maybe it's been helpful? Maybe it's been, you've noticed, it keeps me from kind of looking at some deeper things that are hard.
That's definitely true. But I think, I've been using humor as a coping mechanism for years before this, like even as a kid.
Yeah.
Because, everyone's family is fucked up, but mine included. So, yeah, I've always been like, look over here, don't look at this fucked up thing. I feel like I'm not answering that well.
No, you
are.
Yeah, I think I specifically do that because I'm so uncomfortable about things that I want everyone else to be comfortable. And now it's like transferred to like how I exist as a human. I have to constantly do a fucking dance for everyone so they don't feel bad for me.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting, but I'm getting better at being less like codependent in my use of it, maybe.
Yeah.
I think.
So, well, I think that's a pretty neat awareness that you have. But then it's almost like you said, at a really young age, you learn to do that before you're in a wheelchair. And so then this other life thing happens, and it like transfers and magnifies because you've already developed it as a skill, right? And so skills are helpful. Right, they come because we need them, but then where's the downside of having that really useful skill?
Where's the downside? Well, I don't see one.
Well, I feel like you already kind of named it, where you're like in a wheelchair. I have to feel like I have to do a dance so people don't feel sorry for me. I'm paying attention and valuing other people's feelings and thoughts and emotions over my own. You probably learned to do that way before you're in a wheelchair.
No, absolutely. I think doing it so often, it has like kind of like skewed my sense of my own reality. Maybe like I don't really give myself a lot of time to kind of take a beat and like sit with what's happening. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, be funny. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Is that like when it first started to get, maybe when you were like, oh shit, I have to have a wheelchair. Like in the beginning, were you like making jokes, or like what was it like in the beginning when it first like got serious?
And like after diagnosis, I seriously was I wasn't acting like someone that had just been diagnosed with like a fucking life-altering disease. Like it was like my party trick. Like I used it as a conversation point. Like it was, again, just like a quirky, cute thing I had that made me different. You know, like I'd always be like, yeah, everyone says they're 1 in a million, but I'm like 1 in 4 million. So, you know what I mean?
You're like, damn, that joke was good. It's a good joke.
Very good.
Cut that part out.
Keep it.
Oh, fucking A.
So you didn't like have a moment where it was like just anger or like
I do actually. It was a week before my 21st birthday.
Yeah.
I was still walking around and I lived in a house and my roommate was at work. I had gotten up and went to the kitchen to make coffee. And I was wearing socks on hardwood floor like a fucking sociopath. Anyways, I slipped and I face planted the hardwood and knocked my front tooth out through my lip. This is fake.
what?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was blood everywhere. I had to take shots out of straws on my 21st. It was
Oh no.
That's the bad thing that came from that.
So I learned a lesson.
I use straws for shots.
At first you meant like medicine.
I did too.
You're like, no, to get wasted,
No,
dog.
I was still party. I'm fun.
That's so funny.
No.
It wasn't fear.
So that made what you were talking about, like being pissed off. That moment was like,
Yeah, because I like really, I just wanted to be like a basic college party girl. Like that was my vibe. And then all of a sudden, like I didn't have an excuse for that, because people would ask me a lot in college, like, you know, how's this affect your day to day, especially in like dating.
Yeah.
And when I was first diagnosed, I would do my best to play this down because I didn't want to scare men off.
Yeah.
You know, like I dated this guy, or the guy I was dating when I got diagnosed. Oh my god. His mom and I were close, and we went over to tell her what was up, because she was like the kind of woman trying to like heal me with crystals and shit. Like it was hard. It was hard to bite my tongue. Anyways.
wow.
Oh yeah.
She was trying to heal you?
Yeah. Before I got diagnosed, she was like, I think I know you need, I don't know enough about crystals to even give one example. Rubies?
I think that's in the Bible, maybe.
But like we're all sitting at the table, and he's like telling her what the diagnosis was and what that means for my future. And like right across from me, she puts her hand like over her mouth and goes, "You need to break up with her. I will not have disabled grandkids." And that was like the first week.
What?
And I'm 18. Like I'm
Wow.
fucking.
Holy shit.
That's a big moment.
Oh yeah.
How did that feel?
Well, back then, I really thought I, like, wanted to be a mom, and, like, when I got diagnosed, the first question I asked was, like, would I give this to a kid? And I was super grateful, because whoever I had a baby with would have to get genetic tested, see if they were carriers, whatever. So that stung, and I think that, like, kind of started my fear of people, like, understanding how bad this was gonna get.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
That's hard too, because like you said, you were close with her, and you also had like a hard relationship with your mom. So it's like, what grown woman is going to be fucking here for me?
Right. Like, I didn't trust, like, adult men or women. Like, there was no, I don't know. It was, and the craziest part, though, back to diagnosis. I got this diagnosis. My mom was like, oh, fuck. Because my whole life, she gaslit gaslit me to pieces. That's not a saying. And then they were like, what's wrong with your sister? Because she walked weird, too. And so she immediately got tested, and she has the same fucking thing. So...
Wow.
What?
I'm just feeling with you. I'm like,
I was like, is it because I kill her in a joke? I was like, are you mad at me?
are you mad at me? No, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, but yeah, so
So how your sister getting diagnosed with it? What's the difference between your age?
4 years.
Is she younger?
She's older.
Older.
Yeah.
Has that felt positive that you have someone that
Oh my God,
knows what you're going through?
Like, I would give anything for her not to have it, but, like, I really don't know if I'd, like, be able to do any of the things I've done in my life without, like, someone to bounce shit off of that, like, understands. Like, I can complain to her about very niche problems.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And she gets it.
Yeah. No, she's, like, my number one. I fucking love my sister.
It's so interesting. Like, before they didn't know that what she had, but everybody was just like, she has something. And then with you.
Well, the thing is, nothing happened to me. Like I wasn't in an accident. I didn't have, like, a big surgery. Like, nothing like that. My sister had severe scoliosis, had surgery for that when she was young, and so they as she got worse, they put it off on other things. She like fell off a mountain one time, and
in like a fun way.
You said that so nonchalantly,
like the '90s girl. She had your '90s girl moment.
She was Soren. You know what I mean? Stupid.
Did you say she was soaring off the mountain? Okay.
Flying high, you know what I mean? But then that happened, and they kept blaming shit on, and nothing happened to me. So they were like, you are copying her. And I was like, am I? I used to like practice walking in my room when I was like in high school, because I was like, I'm fucking crazy and I can't stop. Like, yeah.
That's a lot, bro.
You do a lot of, you mentioned the word gaslighting. That's a lot of that sounds like how your mom responded to things. But do you feel like you do that to yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I don't trust anything I think or say is true. Like, I need other people to verify. But, like, I can't blame myself for that. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's where that came from.
Yeah.
When you think about it, your mom's the first human you have a relationship with. It's how you learn how to be in a relationship with yourself and the world. And so look at your mom, and I would think a lot of the patterns you have would make a lot of sense. Yeah. When you're like, this is what I learned from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She she fucked up a lot, and she knows that. Like, I've been able to be, like, very honest with her, like,
Good.
now about, like, how all these things affect me, and she feels terrible, and she's in therapy working on herself, which is
Good.
nice,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, she's a good, like, mom to adults, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But as a kid, she's, you know, like, always working, was never home, like that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. That's a lot.
It's so much too to be that age and going through that, and like, I don't know. There's just so much. You're strong, dog. That's a lot going on.
Self-advocacy to like take yourself to the doctor at 18 and to like keep trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I think about it now. It's funny because, like, you know, I was so mad at my mom. Like, that's what fueled me, because I was like, I'm fucking right about something, you know?
Yeah.
But in reality, if she would have taken me and got me tested when I was 15 and I first started complaining, I would not be who I am today. Because I, like, was given 18 years of feeling like I had the whole world in front of me. And I, like, and I'm grateful for that. Like, because, you know, it's all kind of been downhill for a while. And that's, like, been a hard thing to wrap my mind around, which I don't think I really have. But, like, her gaslighting me, I'm a little grateful.
Men disregard that last comment. You don't do it right, okay? Let women do it.
You gaslight with care.
Or not at all.
Well, talk more about that. Why you feel grateful for that?
Because so I've been in a lot of, like, clinical trials where I've met other people with my disease at different stages, blah, blah. And I've met a lot of younger people that are, you know, same severity as me, but they have, like, capped themselves of what they're capable of doing on their own because they were diagnosed so young, and so their mom and they feel like they can't do anything by themselves, so they all live with their parents. They don't have jobs, they didn't go to school, and I wasn't, like, given the opportunity to feel bad for myself before I, like, committed to, like, trying to do something.
So it almost, what I'm hearing is, like, the earlier diagnosis, like, just starts putting blinders on, like, what you feel like is possible. So sometimes I would imagine someone diagnosed younger, they're not going to, I'm sure it's difficult, but there's like a loss and a grieving to be done when you have this whole sense of future.
Yeah.
You have to let go of, like, that dreaming and idea of whatever that was.
That's real. I mean, I went into college as a painting and drawing major. But because of this disease, my hands don't work the way they used to. So I switched to graphic design because I thought I can press buttons forever. Like, look at Stephen Hawking. So, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
You had to grieve losing the idea of a future you might have.
Yeah.
That just changed.
But I also did never see, like, comedy in my future. So I don't know. I love graphic design. I'm glad I, you know, got a degree in that. I'm still doing that. But yeah, I think just learning how to like pivot and not like fully let go of what you want, but like making it work for you.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that because you were like, oh, I didn't lose, or I still had these like dreams until it started to go downhill. How did you turn it around when it went downhill? Like, how do you stay so... You're already laughing. You're like, what? What are you going to say? Positive? And then just like, how did you shift to being like, I'm still going to be motivated and make dreams for myself? How did you do that?
Oh, man. I think fuck, that's a hard question. Like, as I've progressed in this disease, I've, like, what I want for my future has changed at each stage. Because, like, I will say, like, as shitty as this is for my body, obviously, like, the perspective I've gained is, you know, I wouldn't trade that, honestly. I was a bitch before this, you know.
You were a bitch? Oh. I'm like, oh, what?
Like, yeah, I was a bully. You call me the fucking wobbly bitch.
Damn.
Yeah, I was kind of weeble up. Okay, I'm done.
We will whop on those.
I am...
What's the perspective shift that happened?
The perspective shift. Yeah, I think so. I'm from Franklin. Do you know the area? A lot of wasps out there. It is, you know what I mean. So I was very like vain, and the things I thought mattered do not matter to me anymore.
Yeah.
And I think I was just like willing to like care about things that have more longevity. You know what I mean? Like developing friendships and like your personality and understanding how to listen to people and like human things. Pretty cool. But yeah, I think my perspective on what matters and like what gives a person value has completely changed, and I'm happy for that.
No, yeah, those are great things that come from the perspective. Like you said, it's just a perspective where it's just very unique one that you have, and it seems like you were able to shift from feeling like this was like something that caused an issue that you had to make up or apologize for some reason. That's something that ended up being very empowering and helping you grow in ways you didn't know you could or should or whatever, you know.
Right. No, that is absolutely true. You know, I'm a glass half full kind of gal, so try to keep it that way. You know, without
that's hard. That's a hard attitude for anybody to keep, but especially the support. Will you speak a little bit to, it seems like there's a lack of support as a young person.
Yeah.
What does your support look like now?
I have friends. That's a very cool.
But you have supportive friends.
Yes, I do. I recently had to end a couple of friendships that were like from my past that I had brought. Like when you let history kind of like shackle you to a person, regardless of like, you know, what's actually there, how much you have in common, or if they're good for your life. So I had to end a couple of friendships recently, and I'm really happy to say that, like, the women I keep in my circle now are just, like, all amazing people,
Good.
you know.
Will you talk a little bit, because I imagine there's people that are listening that are in those positions where we've had friends, like friends or family, it's like they're built in. We have these obligations to or loyalties to the relationships, but they're not healthy. And as we grow as humans, we realize where we need to put some more in peripheral to us. What did you notice about the friends that whatever you knew, you saw or experienced, where they need to kind of be more peripheral, and these friends that are really supportive? If you're looking at character of person or how you experience the relationship.
Yeah, I mean, this is like very specific to me. But like those friends always found a way when we were out or they came over, anytime I was around them, to like slip in the fact that they like think I'm a burden, or like, oh, this is so annoying, I have to like help with your wheelchair, or like shit like that, like.
Yeah.
Or they'd invite me because they wanted to get to the front of the line, or I have good parking. You know?
Did they say that?
Oh, yeah. But they thought, like, we were cool enough for them to talk to me like that. So it's like, it was hidden for a while.
Wow.
Well, yeah. Well, I think in those moments, tell me if it's something you experienced. You're choosing in those moments, like, do I laugh and go along or put up with this hurt, or do I lose this connection with my perceived friends?
Right. And for years I did the laughing going. I thought quantity over quality was important, because I like wanted to be someone with a bunch of friends. But like, it's funny because like as I like ended those friendships, like it made room for so many better people. And so like, yeah, I think like, when you realize if you're in trouble, you can't call that person, like they wouldn't help you because that would be inconvenient to them. And that includes family. And like, I just don't think like time or history makes you owe anyone anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and talk about the qualities of the friends that are around you now.
They, like, for example, they literally just came over and like painted the inside of my house for me. Like, did I tell them? Yes. They, I don't know, like, I can call, okay. So I told you I do this, like, dance, keep everyone happy, gotta keep it light. Like, I don't talk about my disability much around people that I don't think can handle it. But, like, any of the friends I have now, like, I get sad a couple times a month where I just, like, break down about what's happening.
Yeah.
And I could call those people, and they would, like, sit there and listen to me for hours, you know?
Yeah.
And I have never really had that.
Yeah. That feels good, I bet.
Really good.
So not being an inconvenience, that it seems like that's the stark difference with how you feel in those different ones. Do you feel, and when you think about your mom and how she responded and showed up in this, do you think, did she give you that sense that you were like a burden to her, inconvenience?
Yeah, I mean, both of my parents did, you know, like growing up, that was definitely the vibe. Like anytime I was upset or wanted to talk about something, it was always, oh my God, you're such a middle child. And it's like, you made me one.
True.
She could have stopped, you know what I mean? I'm just kidding. I love my brother. Yeah. But with her, I think like the root of why she was like so dismissive to these things, she didn't want anything to be wrong with her kid.
Yeah.
And so she was like, you know, if we don't put a name to it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us do that with all different kinds of things? But
Right.
yeah, it doesn't mean it's okay, you know, that's how it should go.
No,
But yeah,
I just like trying to understand it.
Yeah.
Not be okay with it, but like.
It sounds like you've been doing a lot of work.
I watch a lot of TikTok.
Please edit that part out.
TikTok is my doctor.
No.
TikTok is my doctor. My doctor. No further questions. Is that really like, I'm just going to do this. I just want to get this out of your face. But yeah, you get a lot of info from TikTok. I know Melanie's like, stop this.
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just kidding. I'm just...
Well, everybody has ADHD at this point.
Oh my God. I'm like, am I autistic? Maybe.
Yes. You know, I have noticed an uptick in like young people like questioning, like bringing that in and wondering.
Wow.
Because what I experience as the therapist is that we're just disconnected, or we grew up in environments where we weren't able to interact with emotions and talk about them and understand them. And so we weren't exposed to like social things. And then we go through COVID that mimics any of that trauma that we have, that will bring it up, and we are our nervous system doesn't have a time, like a clock on it. So it's experiencing it again. So we're all now trying to reconnect again. And everybody's like, I think, what was it? Somebody was saying that when you get on the phone with somebody now, you're kind of like, what? You know, it's hard. You're talking over each other. We are all having to reorient back. And if you're prone to always guessing for yourself, like, so it's me, something's wrong with me, and we try finding a label has helped, then I think that's what, you know, just the understanding part. And so ADHD, the symptoms overlap with so many things, so many trauma response stuff, that you can experience it just like true ADHD. But I think it stops you there when you label, like, almost, it's a perfect example of what you're saying. You're like, I didn't have this label, and so I wasn't limiting what I could think and do. And I think sometimes we get so many labels and a need to try to understand or validate ourselves, when we just know we are who we are, and we don't need validation from anything external, but we're programmed in a way to seek that out. But it kind of puts these blocks for us to really expand.
Like, I don't think anything, I think it's great to like get the label, get the information you need, but like, to limit yourself based off that, I do say that constantly. And it is really hard for me to sit there and act empathetic towards stuff like that. Like, the amount of times someone with ADD has come up to me and said, like, I understand.
What?
I'm not
You're
kidding.
joking.
This shit happens all the time. Or some bitch with, like, a sprained ankle.
You're like, I've had both. Okay.
I'm like a sprained ankle in human form.
Really? A girl came up with a sprained ankle?
Yes, this happened last weekend at Rosemary's.
How do you respond to that?
I get very angry now. I used to be like, ha. And now I'll be like, fuck you.
Do you say fuck you for
Oh,
real?
yeah. I've, like, lost my ability to, like, do the social nice. Like, they need to fucking know.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, not everyone's as strong as me. So...
You're laughing, but we're like, no, bro. Like,
It's true. No,
But,
it's
It's
like,
a lie,
you know...
own that power. Don't discount it. It's yours.
My nails aren't even painted.
Girl. Mine never, well, I mean,
what does
sometimes.
that have to do with being
Sorry,
strong?
I was like calling back to something that was said off camera, and I just realized maybe.
What, like, obviously people say stupid shit to you a lot because you have that in your comedy too. What's like, I don't know, I guess people saying stupid shit, yes, but is there like an opposite of that where people are like, oh, like that guy who was like, does she need help in the bathroom?
Oh my God. Also kill yourself. Like that. Oh my. Like, or people are like,
Yes, can you come wipe for me?
sorry. I didn't mean that.
Sorry.
No, like the fucking worst is people will constantly, and like, I'm tired of being like, oh, they had good intentions. No. No. And when people are like, how do I know when to help you?
I'll ask.
When I fucking ask. I'm an adult. I pay taxes, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like I would rather someone be like really rude to me than be this like fake southern nice, I want to get into heaven thing. That makes me furious. I will always be meaner in the face of that. Like I kind of got some respect for someone who can be publicly rude to someone in a wheelchair. That's kind of dope. I mean, hell yeah. Like, get your bag, you know what I mean?
Wait, did you get paid for that?
I don't know what that means. I'm just trying to be trendy.
Get your bag, babe.
Get your bag, bitch. Go out, king.
I love you so much. I think you're cool and strong and smart and funny.
Same.
May I ask your, like, can you tell me about like the relationship with your body? Like before, I love when you already start laughing and smiling. You're like, I'm about to tell a joke.
You're like, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No, I'm having a good time.
You don't have to.
No. Keep when you rephrase it.
Yeah, like,
My relationship with my body, like before and now.
Yeah, before like you knew what the diagnosis was, and then when you knew and what that meant for the future. Like, I guess just like you spent a lot of time being like, am I crazy? Am I crazy? And then your body was like, oh, this is what we're doing. We have this. How did that make you feel towards your body?
Oh my God. I honestly, I think like, well, again, I fucking celebrated being right. Like that was like, my immediate response was, I was stoked to be right for the first time. It felt like a relief from being like gaslit. But
You're like, see, I know me.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm aware of things, you know. I went back to every job that fired me for falling down flights of stairs and stuff, and I told them that was very fun. Fucking frothy monkey.
I will never drink their coffee again.
Yeah, fuck them. They sound a liability. I was.
He didn't have to like say it.
Well, like, you don't say it like that.
Wait, that's before they knew that you had.
Yeah, I was. I worked there in high school when I was 18, so I was waiting for the test results. It takes 3 months for them to come back.
So they were just based on, in their perception, someone that's clumsy?
Yeah, they thought I was
Or accident prone?
drunk or stoned all the time. Yeah, but customers love me, so they had to get a food runner when I worked so someone could carry my shit. But it was when I cleared off a bunch of tables and I was going down the stairs and I fell and everything broke. And it was pretty gnarly. I got diagnosed like 2 weeks later though, and they were like, don't sue us, you know what I mean?
I love the shoulder shrug. Yeah.
I couldn't up anyways, you know. I wasn't diagnosed yet, but I can't tell if when I look at you if it's like bad for audio.
No.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I feel like I've been side-eyeing you this whole time.
So you were all like, after you were like, I'm right, you just like, your mindset was like, all right, let's keep going. Let's do this.
Yeah, like nothing had changed. Like I honestly, coping mechanism, I think I was just pretending not to understand what it really meant. Like I thought this makes me more interesting. This gives me an answer to why I walk this way.
Yeah.
And I get to go and shove this shit in everyone's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was just like on a high for probably the first like year and a half of like feeling validated.
Yeah.
And then I realized that,
oh, now I got to deal with this. That's
yeah,
not
I'm
quite-
like, oh, but it's really happening.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I thought it was on pause for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing about, like, having a progressive disease, it's, like, very strange. Because it's not like I wake up and, like, I'm like, okay, I know how to be disabled like this. Every day is different. Every day is harder. And so I'm never a master at my own body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because a lot of times, it's like you can wrap your head around things easier when you're like, okay, I know what I have to deal with and how this all works. But it's a continual thing every day of like what you have to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster. And I do have like good and bad days, like physically.
At what point did you have to, did you become like wheelchair, like bound?
Yeah. About 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I bet that was a big shift when that happened.
yeah. It was. I mean, I had a walker before the wheelchair. Someone at Mike told me that a wheelchair was way hotter than a walker. I was like, word, that's why I did it. So, I mean, honestly, so I went from walking and I couldn't get served at bars because they all thought I was fucked up, and I'd be like, no, I have this. And they'd be like, we've heard that one before. I'm like, where? And then I had like canes, which was a really cool phase. I had different canes for every outfit. Like I was really intense about it. Like I still have like 14 canes, and so I like hide them all over my. Anyways,
Wait, finish that sentence.
all over my house. I bet that you were at my birthday. I had that sword cane.
Bro,
I went on a blind date one time and he showed up with flowers and a cane with a sword inside for me.
Oh,
That's pretty awesome.
I never went out with him again, but he let me keep the cane and it was very cool.
that's so cool. I love that.
He's a nice guy.
And that's why you had to go.
Yeah, I had to fucking go. I need a little edge.
Yeah.
Slap me around a little bit.
You mentioned you like people that are publicly mean to people in wheelchairs.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is that too much to ask?
Right.
Like,
Be awful.
like you're already doing it behind closed doors. Like, fucking bring it to the streets.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Well, kind of tell us how you found your way to comedy. It wasn't something you had your sights on and thought could, would be something you did. So how did...
No, I hadn't
that
even considered that was like a thing. So I was dating a piece of shit. Okay. And I think I had like gone to Zany's to like watch some shows, and it's not like I was like, I could do that, but like I was like, I want to try. That would be cool. I'm funny in conversation, maybe, you know. And I told this dude I was dating that I thought I was gonna go to an open mic or something. And he told me not to, and he was like, it'll be embarrassing for you and me, and I don't need that. So we broke up.
Good.
And this was years ago. Okay. We broke up, and then Marvelous Miss Maisel wasn't even out yet. Okay. Okay, let me preface.
Please.
I have to.
That's a time marker.
I got really drunk on Valentine's Day. Okay. And I show up to a house party, and I had told my friends, like, I think I want to try, but I'm scared. And I found out my friend was having this house party. She had bands, like it was packed. And she had put on the flyer stand-up comedian Fiona Cauley. And I was pissed and very drunk. And
a good combination.
I mean, and I had no material. Like, I was like, okay. And I sat in a chair very similar to yours, like a comfy chair. Like 50 people sat on the ground of this house. Okay, it was like story time.
Oh my god!
And I just shit talked my ex-boyfriend, and I crushed. Yeah,
there you go.
And then I was like, I'll never do it again. And I was so scared. It was so scary. I was like, that was random. And then I went to Atlanta for a clinical trial, and you know. They pay for your stay, your food, all that shit. Mm-hmm. So I went out with a friend. We were bar hopping the night before this trial. I'm an idiot. They took a lot of blood. I was not okay. And I was like, I want to watch some comedy. We go to the Punchline. Mm-hmm. Someone couldn't make it, so they were like, we're doing a bucket spot. I didn't know what a bucket spot was, and they explained, and my friend was like, and I was like, no, absolutely not. I go to the bathroom like a raging idiot, and I come back, she's pulling the name Fiona Cauley, and I was like, what? And she was like, I didn't think she'd pull you. And I was pissed drunk again. And I get on stage. I don't remember what I said, but they invited me back. It was very cool. Yeah, and then I didn't do it again for years. And then COVID happened. And I didn't do it during COVID. And then finally, my roommate at the time, Jocelyn, fucking shout out, she forced me to try an open mic. And I went to the East Room this past October. Mm-hmm. And I did that mic and got booked on my first show after my first mic back.
Wow.
That's so exciting.
It was cool.
The third time, what made you be like, okay, I'm going to do this? Because those other two, you were like, nah.
Because I started getting forced to. Honestly, I was like, one and done, baby. But then I started getting like booked on more and more shows, and I was like, I guess I have to keep doing this.
Do you want out?
I'm like, I'm literally being held at gunpoint right now. No, I love it so much. I was just so scared. The fear kept me from it, and I used to have to drink before I went on stage, and now I can do it sober, which is crazy.
That's awesome. I love
That's so dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
do you feel like doing it those few times when it was just, it wasn't planned, you just did it and it was fun, that you want to kind of keep that as like a sacred experience by like starting?
Yeah, like I was like
if
tourist.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah, like it wasn't a job. It was like a random thing that now I can tell people I've done stand-up before. I was like, that's pretty interesting and cool. But now I'm just like a full-blown narcissist. You know?
You are not a narcissist.
She's had to tell a couple of comedians.
I'm like, wait, say it again.
You are not a narcissist.
Oh, how does it feel to talk about you, like your condition, you being in a wheelchair, all that on stage? Like, do they laugh? Do they not laugh? Do you love it when they don't laugh?
Oh my God, when they don't laugh, I get really angry. I finally started acknowledging how angry it makes me when I get the, I'm like, you're at a fucking comedy show. If I hear that again, I will throw myself out of this chair.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, for sure.
I want to come to one of your shows. When are you playing around here next?
Saturday.
I'm there. Wait.
The Blue Room. It's an abortion care TN fundraiser.
Wait, what?
The Blue Room?
Plug it. Well, it won't matter by the time this airs. Never mind.
Okay, well.
Never mind.
We should
cut
care
that
about
out, please.
Even past your show. Yeah.
Keep caring.
So Saturday at the Blue Room.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fun. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
What time? Sorry. I need to stop. Sorry. There's times where you forget we're like recording a podcast.
I know.
We're just talking.
7 or 8, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
The question again, I feel like
About talking about your...
Oh, right. Yes. I think like I already knew how to make it like an approachable subject because I've been like doing that for so long. I didn't know if like a large group of people would be into that or if I would just make everyone too sad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I make disability look fun.
Mm-hmm.
You crush, dude. Yeah, you're great.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Do you feel like you give enough room to the difficult stuff? Because you're really good at making it fun and like stepping into the parts that have expanded you as a person. Do you give enough to the hard part, like enough space for that, you think?
Absolutely not. I'm gonna say no to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think I don't, and hopefully at some point I'll figure out how to, but I'm scared if I do, it'll kind of kill some of the like fun spins I have going on. You know, like I don't want to pop that bubble for myself because what if I stop finding the humor in this?
Well, I think that's the huge spotlight of this podcast is that I think comedians think they have to be one or the other. There's not room for both of those. And it seems like your identity or worth or how good of a comedian you are rests in your ability to be funny, even if it means being funny about the hard stuff. It's like when I think it's a double thing of a way that you work through the experience, you know, or work with it or interact with it in some way that feels tolerable.
Right.
But it can also lend it to being a thing that kind of pushes that over to the side a lot.
Do you mean handling it on a stage or in personal
either
life?
or, like just like what she said, if I sit with the pain or the hard stuff, I'll lose my ability to be funny about this and make disability look good. Right? That'd be fun.
Just marketing 101.
See?
Stop.
Jokes.
I can be serious. I can do it.
But when you're so good at it, I mean, it's a skill. You lean into it, you know?
That is a fear, though. I don't want to be not funny.
Yeah.
Then
Do
what
you
would I be?
struggle with that?
Well, I would say notice that the belief is that you have to pick one or the other. You don't.
Fiona's not convinced.
I'm like, oh.
Maybe it would make it even funnier. I feel like we've had this conversation before about some darker things that I talk about. If I like, you know, healed from it and then I was able to look at it from more sides. You know
what? I will say the weirdest thing to me, there's one thing I can't talk about on stage. I've tried. Everyone's always like, we feel bad for you. This is just sad. My fucking dad. I try. There are so many jokes I can make, and I know how to make jokes. I know how to, you know, can't fucking do it. So I think there is some truth in like accepting or understanding something before you can bring it to a stage.
What happens when you try?
I told a story about him, dead silence, which does not feel good. And then I got off stage and some of the comics were like, yeah, I don't think you're ready to talk about that because like you seem hurt.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, fuck you too.
So you hurt?
You know pain.
Throw myself out of this chair, bro. Waffle your head.
I'm gonna throw myself out of this chair and say you did it.
Long-term pain. You're going to jail, bro.
Some legal pain, bitch.
Yeah. That did give me a chill though when they were like, I think you're I was like, oh shit, now that makes sense. Yeah. They can see your pain in it.
Yeah, they can smell it.
Can I ask a question as someone not in the comedic because it's fun getting to hang out with like a room of comedians. The energy's very different from what I do all day. But what's the I just lost my train of thought.
Seeing pain in a joke.
Oh, okay. From the outside perspective, being able to, it seems like there's a thing about like, it's just a known thing that comedians bring, like someone said, you're not ready for that yet. You're still, so it's like they knew you bring your pain to the stage. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I would say. And honestly, okay, this is personal opinion. This is not fact. But for me, to like enjoy another comedian's comedy, I want to feel like I know something about you. And I think people that have seen success, like this bitch, she is good at like, she does the whole like, here's some real shit, but I'm gonna make it approachable. But there are a lot of comedians who are like not, like clearly not diving into their own stuff, and like probably because they're healthier people than us.
What?
Nah.
Absolutely not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I don't feel like I've learned something about you and you've made me laugh at something that you shouldn't laugh at, I don't really fuck with your comedy too much.
Yeah. I think it connects the community too, because it's such a solo path.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but what makes it a community where you feel like these are my people is that you can all be like, yeah, I'm fucking hurting, and it's like, oh, me too, dog. I'm gonna go up there and hopefully not bomb, you know.
Well, I was cracking up literally last night. Some of the comics were like, how you been? And I was like, oh, I'm a little depressed, spaghetti, and they're like, me too.
Spaghetti.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone is hurting, and we're all like pretty vulnerable about that fact. Like, there's not any shaming on, you know, being sad or like.
There's almost more shaming on being happy in the comedy community.
Like, you don't
Which is
belong here
ridiculous.
if you're like healthy and happy.
Well, it seems like it's part of the craft is knowing how your pain can be like intertwined with humor.
Yeah.
Like it's part of a skill set.
Yeah.
And being a comic almost is what I'm getting from just getting to be a part of these conversations recently.
That makes me feel like a superhero.
You are a superhero.
We're basically
You're my superhero.
doctors or something.
You were basically doctors.
Kinda. You know, if you like don't think about it too hard, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Just disregard earlier when she said kill yourself.
Or go to TikTok for therapy.
I'm gonna prescribe you. I'm not gonna finish that, but.
So what's your good news?
Yes. I want you to share your great, awesome, amazing, fucking cumtastic news.
No.
And then also something that you do for yourself that is just like, that makes you happy. Like your me thing.
Wait, in what order?
Whichever you choose.
How about the thing you do it's happy? Because I feel like we'll forget that. So go do that one first.
Oh my god, this is embarrassing. I feel like I should have something. I like to smoke weed before bed. Every night I get high with me and my dog in my bed.
You get your dog high?
Oh yeah.
Too. Peter's gonna be pissed, bro.
No, Peter's not listening to this. It's fine. Real good. Don't come for me, Peter. No, I don't know. Oh my god, I
think that's a great answer.
yeah.
Yeah, if that makes you happy,
That's like
that's
my
dope.
favorite thing. I get
Good.
excited about it every night.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, good news.
Okay, this is even more of an update than you actually have. So, about 2 years ago, I was in a trial. They were trying to find treatment for Friedreich's ataxia. I'm going to call it FA from here on out.
Okay.
For FA. And basically, you got to know, like, the only difference between, like, me and you, like, why you can walk and I can't, you produce a protein called frataxin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make enough of it, so I make about 10%, okay? And my mom is a carrier. She makes 40%, but she was, like, a D1 athlete. Like, you don't need all of it, right? Okay, sorry for science. So, the trial, they're injecting frataxin into me and trying to get my body to figure out how to keep producing it. They released like 4 days ago new findings that basically throughout the phases they've done, and clinical trials are generally 4 phases and they're entering phase 2, I think, that it's working. It's like more than doubling the percentage of frataxin I have.
Wow. Are you in that trial right now?
No, but I think I'm in the next phase in January.
Wow.
So I'll be in New York
phase
for
3?
a month.
That's so exciting.
Wait, so you've already had an injection, right?
Yeah, I had one. Because they were, like, scared because the monkey died or something. I'm like, okay.
Boo-hoo. Again, PETA, we're so sorry.
Oh, my God.
I always feel bad at laughing at some of the things we're laughing at.
No.
But it's funny. Y'all are good at your craft.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's freaking exciting,
Yes.
dude.
I'm fucking stoked.
Congratulations.
So.
Even there, that's, yeah.
Which just, this circles back to the first thing we talked about, accepting new reality.
That's what came up. It's like there's going to be another shift for you. Like
I'm gonna
if
have
this,
to fucking write new jokes. I don't know. My comedy career is over.
No.
well, I feel like there's managed expectations as you go into it.
Yes,
right?
cautiously optimistic, absolutely.
Yeah. And then if it does work, it's another shift where you're like, I think it'll expand things for you, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really stoked because, like, before I was, I had to accept the future of, like, eventually not talking or seeing or hearing. I'm Helen Keller, by the way. But, like, I don't fear for that. I'm hopeful. I have faith in science.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and
yeah.
this will be another topic or something for you to think about, or I don't know, but you'll have to build your identity gets so intertwined with a disability and or being in a wheelchair, or just I think if things start going in a different direction, that'll be another big piece of like identity. And your comedy, I think, certainly would change as you change as a person, because it seems like it got developed in the midst of all of this. And so just take it with you and let it,
No, that's going to be weird. I don't know.
Maybe just keep the wheelchair just in case.
Yeah, let's just, like, bring it on stage and sit in it.
If you start to, like, go downhill, just be like, just kidding.
Like, oh, God,
wait, it's back.
You fucking nerd. I'm going to tell people it's contagious. Like, don't get too close.
I can't give you a hand job. Oh, darn it, I really wish I could.
God, that'd be so awesome. If only.
So where can people find you, follow your comedy? Because you are freaking hilarious and you're popping off. So they better get on it now before it's your
we got you first
bandwagon in it. Where's all your socials?
And this is embarrassing, but I'm mainly on Instagram. It's just my name, Fiona Cauley. And then I'm on TikTok, too. Also, Fiona Cauley.
Spell your last name.
Cauley.
I would say spell the whole thing.
F-I.
No, seriously.
FIONA CAULEY.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on here. This has been so fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Me. I've enjoyed talking to you.
You're not as scary as I thought
good.
you would be.
Was that scary at all? No. Okay, good. What?
She's like, okay, 0 to 10, how scary?
Yes, please give me a number.
I'm like 7? No. I just like don't understand how the scale works.
Did you say I don't understand how the scale works? Okay, just scratch the scale.
Scratch the scale.
It worked for me. Doesn't mean it'll work for you. That's okay. Thanks for listening to I'm Fine, It's Fine podcast. I am trauma therapist Melanie Reese, and you can find me across all platforms at Trauma Therapy Nashville.
My name is Amber Autry. I am a comedian here in Nashville and internationally touring. You can find me on all platforms at Amber Autry Comedy. And while you're at it, make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing, rating, reviewing this podcast. I know that sounds like a lot, but it helps so much. And we're having a good time. Mm-hmm. We're healing. It feels good. Mm-hmm. So just a little extra sauce, sharing it with a friend, rate and review it. It really helps, and we appreciate it.
Yeah. And if you have a topic or conversation that you want to hear us talk about, or a story you'd like to share on your own, shoot us an email at imfinesometimes@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening.